Today I'm going to talk about leadership. Leadership can be defined in several different ways. To me, leadership is someone who steps up in a crisis situation and is able to think quickly. Along with that, a leader is someone who is pushing themselves out of their comfort zones and pushing the boundary lines. When we're pushing ourselves and the boundary lines, and even others, we are learning and we are teaching. Being a leader is about teaching others. It's about guiding them to an end goal. The Business Dictionary defines leadership as a leader who steps up in a crisis situation and can act in a creative demeanor in a desperate situation. I agree with this definition in that leaders should step up when there's a crisis situation occurring. They should be able to help others. They should be able to think quickly and in a creative manner. Peter Drucker says that one of the key components of a good leader is to have an action plan. Having an action plan is key. Knowing what you're going to do and how you're going to do it is so important. I'm not sure how leaders could be successful without this. One woman who was a great leader in America was born in Alabama and grew up in a very racist community. This woman and leader is Condoleezza Rice. Condoleezza Rice started down her leadership path at a young age. She did not let the community she grew up in influence her. She didn't let those around her take control of her life. She went on to school and pushed herself through school, actually. She received her bachelor's in science with a study of political science and then moved forward to receive her master's and then her PhD. With a passion for education, Condoleezza Rice had a huge drive, which pushed her out of her comfort zone and pushed those boundary lines. Condoleezza Rice was actually one of the first African American women to be a provost for Stanford University. Condoleezza Rice defines leadership as someone that is able to inspire others and to set a plan while achieving that plan and getting those to their goal. I completely agree with Condoleezza Rice's definition of leadership. Let's set goals. Let's be able to get them to their goal. And just as her definition says, Rice did that and practiced her definition every single day and any time she was able to be a leader. For example, Condoleezza Rice was one of the first American women to be Secretary of State for the United States. She led the Iraqi Situational Group. This consisted of 4 different committees with different leaders that she led. She put in an action plan, as Drucker recommends, and was able to achieve this goal. She brought the committees together, and with all the differences, she put them aside and was able to find a common ground and lead them to their goal and to achieve it. Now, with all the pressures of being in politics alone, and then being a woman, this was huge. Condoleezza Rice is truly a great leader. She had pressures from her higher-ups in politics, as well from the American population. But at the end of the day, she knew what was right and what was wrong, and she had a plan of how to achieve those goals. She had no problem pushing herself out of her comfort zone. That's how she was able to achieve things. Not only was Condoleezza Rice a leader in politics, but also just in everyday life. In 2004, she was the first American woman to become part of the Augusta Golf Club. Now, you would think golfing, any golf club, 2004, women have the right to become a member and have a membership and everything else. But at this specific club, it was not allowed. But Condoleezza Rice overcame that. She pushed that boundary line once again and became one of the first women, which is incredible. So it just goes to show that leadership isn't always just about the amount of power you have. For her instance, it was Secretary of State. That's a lot of power. But she was also a leader in typical everyday situations, as golfing. She opened that opportunity for the rest of us women in America. I could become a member of the Augusta Golf Club. Now, I'm not very good at golf, and nor was she, but there's that opportunity. I have that choice now because of her. So, with Condoleezza Rice, she demonstrates leadership in everything that she does. She takes in consideration others and how they feel. But she was all about teaching and wanting to help others. We actually have a common ground, Condoleezza Rice and I do, with our drive for education. She pursued to get 3 different degrees. I will be starting my master's in the fall, which is going to be my 2nd degree, which I'm very excited about. And that's pushing myself out of my comfort zone and really pushing those boundary lines a little bit for me. But aside from pushing just my boundary lines and comfort zone, I believe that knowledge is the key to success, which, just by looking at her past, she believes the same. Because if she didn't believe education was important, she wouldn't have pursued 3 different degrees. Leaders need to have knowledge. Those who have knowledge usually have more followers, because followers and others trust more in those who are educated and have the knowledge. They'll follow more easily. So I believe knowledge is the key to success, which obviously Rice did too. Still to this day, Rice is a great leader. She may not be practicing politics anymore, but in her everyday life, she's still practicing leadership. So in conclusion, leadership is about pushing yourself and the boundary lines. It is about being able to react in a crisis situation. It is about being able to teach. And it is about being able to help create other leaders. Thank you.